In case you didn't know, just like everything in Warframe, the Lunar Renewal stuff that usually happens at the Lunar New Year is running a little bit late. By 11 days for when the Lunar Renew Tiger emblem came out from Barrow, and same with the sigil from Barrow. Which is just kind of weird for Barrow to have had them and them not to be special alerts, but at least they put Barrow on Strata Relay Earth for every platform because they are here. I may leave the intro as it was because I honestly expected this to come out later on the Friday that Barrow turned up. It didn't. Grendel Skin, thank you very much, turned up on the 15th of February. That is 4 days later. Worth the wait because it does look pretty nice, but there's a few questions I would love to answer about this. That's a little bit better. So if we go in here and just go the Grendel, I really want to say Nian, probably the best way to put it, though it does look weird spelt like that, skin. And it's the only skin for him. I just love the fact that when you do this, it actually changes the colours and everything else. It does that for all deluxe skins and things like that, but the more I think about it, it's one of those, it would be weird if it just brought those colours over to that. It switches it to what they're supposed to be. Not gonna lie. Well, like all deluxe skins, when Warframe first came out, details like this are something that I don't think even Digital Extreme thought they would be adding to the game. I mean, tile sets like this were a little bit of a dream and a hope, especially for things like the cloud effect. But the frames, they still had detail, but not to that layer of details where the light is reflecting on that one black part there. You can see what looks like cracks in the material. That level of detail, which is something that people never pay attention to, but did you see it? Okay, yes, and the teeth are going to move again when you go into, wait, come on, don't, there we go. Okay, so that means one thing. It opens. The mouth actually opens. It was asked in the dev stream, will the mouth actually open? Yes. It of course was going to open. Why wouldn't it? Of course I haven't actually sucked any enemies in, so I can't spit them out, but still. As expected, it opens. Because it opens on the rest of them, it was always going to open on this one, but after seeing the amount of people that actually asked that in the dev stream, it's like, yeah, of course it's going to open. It's Grendel. Why wouldn't it? And damn, it actually looks quite nice when it does. But as you would have noticed, that's not everything. Surprisingly enough, there is, of all things, a brave tiger floof. Out of all the things I think people will probably want from the Lunar New Year celebrations, 15 days late, yeah, I think it's going to be that. Out of everything that they showed here, I kind of looked at it and thought, that's a cat. That is not a tiger. If it was white, I could have given them that one, but it's not. So that looks nothing like it's a hamster. Oh, look, it actually says hamster. I should have looked at the left. Why is that even here? When... hang on. Isn't that the same as last year's? But it's things like that of course come with the Lunar sigil, the Prowl, Renewal Prowl sigil, a background. These are only really noticeable when you are logging in. If you go to options in basically to settings and you go to here, you can change it there in that background. Really? It's Fortuna. Didn't realise that one. Now, Lunar Renewal, which, to be fair, I actually kind of like that red one. I've had that there for that long. It basically just changes. Why am I not using that one? Well, for the meantime, I will leave that one on. Or it could just be... Oh no, that actually changes the image in the background. Which is, of course, the stalker, because when you're logging in, the frame sits inside of there, but same thing. And you end up with tiger stripes. So now, when I come to look at things in the marketplace, and we go in here, and that's a bad example, but I'll kind of take it. No. The background will now basically be red, instead of the purple it has been. Hence the reason, as I say, I don't know why I didn't have the other one, because it had kind of orange effects to it, but that is what I meant by the frame sits inside of that circle. And with the Stalker one, it kind of went around. And I've left it there since they basically added these things in, but I do like these quite a bit. Especially the fact it's added these like tiger stripes in the background. Of all weird things. There is, of course, yes, we know, I've already done that one. Technically, it's kind of rendering in the background. A Ignis skin that matches so well, it just blurs into Grendel skin. Yes, I know. Kind of. There we go. A Sugatra that you just really can't tell that much of. Boosters. Huh? Why does this say I've got 9 kit gun ribbons? And 1 Zor? They must be unlocked ones because I don't have any veiled ribbons at all. More importantly, even more important than the brave tiger floof that looks, to be honest, that's going to be pretty much everywhere already, is the Clavatus heavy blade skin, which is where it will get used the most. Why they don't just label these things as heavy melee skin and allow it to be put on axes and swords and two-handed nakanas, technically they would also be classed as a heavy melee, I don't know. That is something that they should probably look into at this point, because that is very clearly an axe. But in the hands of Grendel, as a really nice looking axe, it's not there. So that thing on the wall is basically a glyph, if it's not appearing here. Or because I already have it placed. Either way, love the fact you can do that. And just spin it around from all levels of... Oh, put your butt in my face, thank you very much. And even better than the fact that you can place this thing, I wish I'd just kind of left you alone for a second there, is the fact that you can now do this. Or this. This. Or this. Have it normal size. Smaller. Bigger. Well, there's the problem. If I stick it down there, it's too big. If I make it smaller, it'll fit perfectly fine. More importantly, they've finally allowed us to place things back in here. It was actually a red zone and it would not let me put anything in here. I'm so glad they fixed that. Now I can maybe fix the fact that one of these statues is missing back here from last year. But hey, for now, at least, big as it'll go, and it won't let me put you on there. I can put you on a shelf where you're sticking through the shelf above it, but I can't put you on here. Can I sit you on this seat at least? Yes. Good. No, locked up. No, it's locking up like crazy. Alright, are you done? Can I move? Thank you, because that's where all my other floofs have kind of ended up over the years. Well, most of them. Peach Blossom was a nice touch to this. I know people are going to say it, so I'll kind of beat them to it, even though it'll probably already be in the comments section. It's basically the Lotus ephemera, slightly changed. The point is, it's a new ephemera. They're just kind of not doing much for things like this these days. No new ephemera for Star Days, but there is one for the Lunar Renewal stuff. And yes, I know I missed it. That's because, well, the Zor skin looks nice, but I still think the Kubrow one looks just that little bit nicer. And, well, I've said this once and I will say it again. The year of the tiger, so they brought out Kubrow Armor. Added this. I've got to go all the way into this and get down to it first. Moondance Armor. And then we need to default the colour as Kubrow Armor. Not Kavat Armor. Year of the Tiger. Tigers are cats. Kavat Armor. No. The Year of the Tiger. Don't get me wrong, I still love this thing, but it's 3 or 4 times bigger than it should possibly have been for the Kubrow's head. That's what makes me think it was intended for a much bigger Kubrow than Meowface here, which, thinking about it now, that predates Kavat's and is kind of insulting towards the cats, but that's because it does have the lotus face on it. The Year of the Tiger. Of course, we do have to mention the fact that Grendel's Nian Skin is going to be a permanent fixture in the marketplace after this ends. It is his first deluxe skin. It's not going anywhere because everything else will kind of disappear on March the 7th at 2 PM ET. Which is kind of okay and not okay all at the same time. But the Kubrow Armor, it can all be kind of forgiven. It's just disappointing they didn't make it a Kubrow and Kavat style skin. One that works on companions would have been much better. But for the Year of the Tiger, sticking it on the Kubrow, I said it when there was rumours of it. It sounded a bit weird. Saying it that didn't fix it? Also even weirder. But don't get me wrong, it still looks absolutely amazing. I just wish it was on a Kavat. It would have made more sense. But the Brave Tiger Floof, probably the one thing everybody's going to be wanting from this, especially those people who collect Floofs. Until March the 7th at 2 PM ET, Grendel's skin will be staying. Everything else is available until March the 7th at 2 PM ET, and then it will probably be brought by Barrow in the future. They have mentioned that these Lunar Renewal time-limited items will be making a reappearance in the future. It actually says seasonal reappearance in the future, so may return next year. But do you want to risk it? And with that, we'll leave this off here, because this is going to end up way longer than I thought it did, because the Floof just looked nice, and it depends how much of the Kubrow rant I cut out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.